When it comes to the Google Merchant Center that is associated with every single Google Ads account, 99% of e-commerce store owners using Google Ads think of that annoying thing which they need to get approved for, otherwise they're gonna get suspended for some kind of policy violation. But little do they know that optimizing the Google Merchant Center using some of the features, promotions, etc. the Merchant Center offers can actually lead to results like these one right here, where we have done over $1.7 million. The real sales value is over 2 million at a 4.45x ROAS. This is my own e-commerce brand, or this one like a client e-commerce brand under my Google Ads agency, Euro Marketing, where about $500,000 in sales were done at an 8x ROAS, or like this other e-commerce brand under my Google Ads agency, which we crossed just about $52,000 in ad spend at a $513,000 revenue number, which is about a 10x ROAS. All of these insane results would not have been possible without having a Google Merchant Center that is fully optimized, and without having a Google Merchant Center that follows all of the things, all of the promotions, which I'm about to mention in this video. But one thing you want to get in mind is there is a lot more that the Google Merchant Center has to offer besides just the Merchant Center feed, or besides just connecting your products from your Shopify store onto the Google Ads account. So if you're like majority of the e-commerce store owners, you probably spend a lot of your time trying to scale your e-commerce brand specifically with Google Ads through the Google Ads dashboard. You might be launching different campaign types. You might be trying to scale those campaigns with Performance Max, Smart Shopping Search, whatever the case may be. That is your kind of go-to strategy. And don't get me wrong, that is exactly what you should be doing. But then because you're not really focused on the Google Merchant Center on the back end, you miss out on a lot of extra revenue, and you actually miss out on a lot of extra profitability you could be getting. Because trust me, whatever you're paying per link click, whatever you're paying per purchase, you do not need to be paying that much. It could be down much more, because the truth is a lot of the results that you get from Google Ads are actually derived from what you do in the backend. So in this video, if you watch until the end, you will know exactly what strategies and tactics I'm using to increase my sales with Google Ads just through the Google Merchant Center alone. So now moving on to specifically the Google Merchant Center. We're gonna be covering exactly all of the specific things I'm using within the Google Merchant Center, and also what kind of benefits these offers, and also how I'm using them to specifically increase my sales. But one thing you want to understand is that before even getting to the Google Merchant Center, you need to actually do a lot of extra work on the feed app that you are using to connect your Google Ads account to the Google Merchant Center. For example, I use the Feed for SimProcess app for my Shopify store, and if you go inside any specific product, and even if you don't, if you just go at this top section within settings, you will see there's a lot of specific settings which you can actually change, which basically helps the Google Ads account know exactly what store you are, what you sell, all of that good information. But if you want to get a little bit more granular, if you want to be more specific, that's when you go inside the product level. And if you scroll down, you see all of these things which the Feed app is asking you. This is not getting asked just to satisfy the Feed app. The Feed app literally does not care about this. But what does care is the Google Merchant Center, and what the Feed app does is it submits all of this information back to the Google Merchant Center. So this is the number one step where I start to really increase my sales with Google Merchant Center, to really kind of get those results which I just showed you. You need to start by providing as much information as possible within the Feed app, and you want to provide relevant information. So for instance, if we go inside the category section, we can see there's a lot of different categories available. Some of them are very broad, like the first one, animals and pet supplies. On the other hand, there are some that are very specific. For example, if you go right here, animals and pet supplies dash pet supplies dash fish supplies dash aquarium, air stones, and diffuser. It's a very specific kind of category that Google Merchant Center lets you choose. And my recommendation to you is that you get as granular as possible. You don't want to be very broad. So if you know, for example, that you're selling a bird bath, you do not want to be choosing bird cage accessories, nor should you be choosing animal and pet supplies. Instead, you want to be as specific as possible here. Bird cage, bird bath would be the ideal situation. So you just go in and choose that, and this gets submitted to your Merchant Center feed. So this is where really my Merchant Center optimizations begin, because whatever winning product I have, and that is another thing you want to keep in mind, I do this personally for my winning products, but if I have a store which does not have too many products, I will get the work done and I will just do it for every single product, because nothing beats a properly optimized Google Merchant Center feed. Because when you do all of these things, just think about it. You're kind of hand feeding and spoon feeding your Google Ads algorithm exactly who you are, what you sell, all of that important information, which they can then use to get you more sales. So you don't want to make Google's life more difficult than it already is, because if you just supply a specific title, for example, if you give it the title birdcage bath, there's a good chance it might find this category on its own, but there's also a very good chance that it might just think you're selling some kind of bird supplies, or maybe you're selling some birdcage accessories, and just go with those broad categories, hence limiting your scale and limiting your overall profitability. So again, it kind of begins with the Google product category, the main optimizations, but there's a lot of other things you can do. For example, if you know the birdcage bird bath is the color red, you can go ahead and type that in. If you know the size, that it's only 12 inches by 6 inches, you can also write that in, material, pattern, etc., etc. Whatever information you can provide, and I recommend you provide as much info as possible, especially for your winners. You need to go ahead and do that. So once you get to the very end, that's when you can just click update product. All of this information will then be submitted to your Google Merchant Center and to the products feed section. So that is where really my first strategy for having a fully optimized Google Merchant Center to increase my sales with Google Ads begins, on the feed level with whatever app I'm using. Now we move on to the actual Google Merchant Center, because we're not done yet. There's a lot of extra things you can use that I use personally to get those kinds of results. Number one thing, the most recent thing, is the Shopping Score Experience program. So I already made a video on this. You can watch the video. The link is in the top right after this one. But very important, because not only does it give you now a trusted store badge, it also boosts your ranking in the shopping tab. And I mean, that's pretty much a no-brainer, right? You're not really doing anything extra. All you're really needing to do is just set this up. Again, I covered this in the other video, so I'm not going to go over that here. But 100% something that you should be doing, something I've been doing for all of the e-commerce brands I'm handling under my Google Ads agency, also for my own e-commerce brands, because these two things alone can improve your ROAS without you doing a single extra thing. But that's sort of the newer things. What I want to cover now is the other things which the Google Merchant Center offers. So if we go within the settings section, we can see there's a lot of different settings here. You don't necessarily need to kind of do anything within the settings section, but you want to definitely check it out to make sure that you have all of the settings properly optimized and properly set up. Because one thing a lot of e-commerce store owners don't realize is that if you have some things missing, like for example, shipping and return section is missing, or maybe the region section is missing, maybe sales tax is missing, these things affect the quality score that is associated with your Merchant Center, not with the Google Ads account itself, but with the Merchant Center as a whole. And as you guys already know, the Merchant Center does have a score of its own. It's not necessarily called a quality score, but I do like to call it that, because again, if you don't have the proper settings, if you have a lot of disapproved items, if there's some items which are expiring with orange warning signs, all of these affect your feed quality, and I like to refer to that as the quality score. So without even getting too much into the diagnostic section, you want to again make sure all the information here is fully provided, all of it is relevant to your Google Ads account, to your Shopify store. Do not provide one thing here and then something completely separate on your Google Ads account. That is a really good way to get suspended under the misrepresentation policy. So if you don't want to do that, make sure all of the information here is as accurate as possible, just so you are on Google's good side. But that is one thing I do, and along with that, I like to go into the product section, to the diagnostic section. This is where I really focus on increasing my sales. Now, if you already followed the first step of having that properly optimized feed, amazing work, but you're not done yet, because now you probably have some errors right over here. Like you can see, this e-commerce client has some errors like the incorrect value. This is the GTIN issue, which we really can't fix because we don't have GTIN since this is a dropshipping store. But there's other ones like missing value shipping for the country New Zealand. There's limited performance due to missing value GTIN once again, and also incorrect value, more GTIN issues. So what I recommend you here is fix up as many of the issues as you can. I mean, I understand if you can't fix up the GTIN issues, for some accounts, even I can't fix that up. And there's really nothing you can do about it. You just got to make sure that you don't have too many of the other errors. So one thing that can be fixed within this account is this missing value shipping error right here for New Zealand. So one good way to fix this would be just to kind of get rid of New Zealand or go in and provide a shipping option for New Zealand. So those are two ideal ways to go about this, but this is where your real increasing of your sales comes in. You gotta make sure this is as close to zero as possible, because again, this determines your quality score for your merchant center feed. If you have a bad quality score here, Google is gonna think that you're not even taking care of your feed. What are you gonna do to take care of its customers? And how are you going to provide a good experience to the customer? So all of these things matter tremendously. You need to make sure your merchant center feed is at basically zero errors. Again, fix whatever you can. But once you're done with them, then we move on to the next section, which can fall under performance, it can fall under marketing, it can also fall under growth, because there's a lot of different things you can choose. But what I want to focus on for the remainder of this video is the marketing section, because within marketing, there is something called the promotions tab. This is the #1 tab, which can literally boost your sales, double, triple, quadruple your sales overnight. But 99% of e-commerce store owners don't use this. And to kind of illustrate my point, I am going to go on over to Google to show you guys exactly how many stores are actually using the promotions tab itself. So all the promotions tab settings come up here on the bottom. So this free returns, free shipping, that is something these guys set up through the promotions tab. So there's one store, two store, Amazon, of course. There's also this store right here, free returns, get it by X date. So this is not really the promotions tab, but rather just the shipping settings they set up. So more Amazon. So as you can see, out of all of these stores coming up here, majority of those listings are by big brands like Amazon. There are also some right here coming up on the second page, like free shipping, no tags, etc., etc. But there's better ways to do promotions. This is not really the best way that I recommend, and I will be showing you guys what the best way is. But what I'm trying to tell you guys is a lot of the stores are actually not even using the promotions tab section as they should be using, and as a result, they are not really standing out of the crowd. I mean, there's no reason why I would pick this 3D printer over this one, over maybe this one, because all of them literally look the same. So it all basically comes down to my needs, the pricing, etc. But if there was somebody using the promotions tab, it would appear directly on the shopping listing itself. It might say something like X dollars off or X% off, etc. And what I'm trying to do is I'm actually trying to go ahead and find anything, but unfortunately, so many of these stores are not even using it at all that I'm unable to even find anything. So that just tells you how much of a really big advantage you have if you end up using that. And this might kind of be like what I'm talking about right now. So this one specific store offered a $10 off promotion, and this is exactly how it would come up. It would show up right here, maybe it would show up on the bottom, but either way, it would kind of give you a way to stand out of the crowd, and it would give your customers an incentive to buy from you, because right here, out of all of these four, sure, this has sale, this has low price, but this one has the real value associated with it. It's telling me I can get $10 off, which of course would be something I want. So now going back to the promotions tab, again, this is how you set it up. So you go under marketing to promotions, you click the plus button right here, and now we begin the setup of the promotion. So country, you want to choose whatever country you want to do the promotion in. Language, make sure to choose English or whatever the local language is. Now destination, you can choose to do both shopping ads as well as free listings, but personally, I prefer to just uncheck free listings, because free listings at the end of the day is just free, and I don't really want to give people an incentive to buy if I'm already kind of just being there in the first place. And there's various ways to kind of boost your ranking with free listings, like proper SEO. I'm not going to cover that in this video, but if you have more questions on that, just let me know down in the comments. So, but for all of my e-commerce brands that I handle Google Ads for under my Google Ads agency, your marketing, which if you're doing $30,000 or more in sales, you need some extra help scaling with Google Ads to the next level, go on my website at yorumarketing.com and book a free call with me to see how we can possibly work together and make that happen. But for all the e-commerce brands, I do end up usually checking just the shopping ads box. But now here's the different kinds of promotions you have. You have amount off promotion, like $10 off. You have percent off promotion, like 5% off. You have a free gift promotion, and you have a free shipping promotion. Now, normally we did see a lot of free shipping, but here's the tip I would give you. You want to kind of stand out of the crowd, and you want to do the opposite of what your competitors are doing. So far we saw free shipping, we also saw amount off. So that means our competitors are already doing these two, and what's left for us is percent off or a free gift. And personally, I have never really seen a free gift kind of promotion going on. So this might be ideal for you to do. You can do like get a free gift, you can do get a gift card, you can also do get a free gift from your inventory, whatever you want to do. Or if you would rather take just the normal route, you can do percent off normally, or buy quantity of products, get percent off. You can also do buy quantity of products, get the same item at a percent off. So basically upselling, downselling. This lets you know why this is such a powerful program to increase your sales literally overnight with Google Ads. And again, you want to do the opposite of what your competitors are doing. So for the sake of this example, I'm just gonna do percent off and discount percentage. I recommend you don't go too crazy, and you also do kind of odd numbers, which are random numbers. You can do 3%, you can do 5%, you can do 7%, maybe even 9% on the higher end. I don't recommend you go above 10% really, but you can also stick to the basic like 5% off, 10% off, whatever the case might be. But I like to be kind of different. I like to do 3% off, 5%, 7%, etc., etc. And then you can click continue. Now here is the important part. You want to enter a title that accurately describes your promotion. So don't just say like XYZ promotion. You want to kind of say 10% off discount code for summer, or maybe something like summer flash sale, winter flash sale, whatever you want to do. In this case, what we're gonna do is we're gonna do winter flash sale. Then what's gonna happen is that Google is not gonna approve this promotion and it's gonna get denied. So you wanna make sure it's very specific, and here is where you can enter anything you want for the promotion ID. I can just do like A12 or whatever I want to do. Now, products, you can do it for only specific products, you can do it for all products, it's up to you. I just like to do all products. And here is the important part. You want to actually provide a promo code. So make a promo code which is very easy to write. Like if your promotion ID is A12, make the promotion code A12 as well. Just 2 to 3 letters, max 4 letters. Don't make it too big. The customer is gonna get tired of writing it out. And here's another important part. Make sure you choose a start date and an end date. So I like to normally create these promotions around specific occasions, events, seasons. So right now we're in summer, and summer is gonna end basically around end of August. So what I would do is I would create a promotion that says summer flash sale. I would start it today when I'm recording this video, June 12th, and I would end it at August 31st. So that's what I would do, and I would just make it a summer flash sale, because then I would go back and create a brand new promotion which says fall flash sale or autumn flash sale, whatever the case is, or maybe early winter sale or something like that, and start it from August 31st or just September 1st when this one ends, all the way up to December or whatever I want to do. So as you can see, you can schedule promotions up ahead and not have to kind of go in manually do it every single time. So that is what I really recommend. Kind of schedule this out so that one after the other the promotions will kind of launch, but make sure you're not going in a loss selling these promotions. And I guarantee you, if you have them scheduled correctly, if you're following everything properly and you're optimizing your Merchant Center feed, you're optimizing the Google Merchant Center account itself, you are going to be increasing your sales tremendously, literally overnight with Google Ads. But that is pretty much it to the overall Google Merchant Center tips and tricks that I use specifically to really grow my sales. There's a lot of other things you can check out like growth, performance, but in terms of actually doing something, there's nothing really that needs to be done there. But again, if you do $30,000 or more in sales with your e-commerce brand and you need some extra help scaling further with Google Ads, go on my website at euromarketing.com and book a free call with me to see how we can make that happen. But if you found any type of value in this video, destroy that like button and destroy that subscribe button, and I will see you in my next video.